Hey guys, welcome back to TC Vape Reviews, and today we're going to finish up the video series of the good, the bad, and finally the ugly. Now, this is, let's not kill the computer. This is called the Prometheus. Now, it's not horribly ugly, but there's a few things about it that I wish weren't there. For instance, for me, having the head be larger than the base doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This should have been a little bit thinner just to make it a little bit more slimline. Now, do I want everything to look like the Kraken, where it's nice and smooth all the way up and down? Of course not. I mean, the Kraken is the Kraken because, oh yeah, it's the Kraken. This is the Prometheus, so I expect it to be different, and I expect the dock steam turbine to be different. They're all supposed to have their own design, but their design here, they could have done a better job making that flow all the way through. Now, does that mean this is a bad Jenny style tank? Not at all. It's actually very good. It has been vaping very well. Here you go. And that's with the ceiling fan on. It's vaping very well. I don't have any issue. I get down to the last few drops of juice, and everything's wicking great. So, you know, as far as, let's talk about the value here. I was able to pick up the Kraken in a brick and mortar store for $39.99. I picked this one up in a brick and mortar store for around $69. Now, there is a few features that makes it different. Now, if you remember, on our Kraken we have the two air holes for dual coil builds. This one has two air holes. Same reason for a dual coil build, and they both have the ability to go down to a single coil. Now, the complaint that I had with the Kraken was this: you had to really kind of turn this guy because it's all set by O-rings. And what usually happens to me is while I'm trying to turn this, the base starts to turn, or I start to unscrew it from the mod. Where this one, a nice feature is that you can unscrew this cap, and look how smoothly this guy just rotates right on around. I mean, so you can very easily set your airflow control. You know, sometimes in Jenny style tanks, a lot of airflow is going to equal to not a lot of flavor. There is a ratio that you have to figure out for you, you know, how much vapor you want compared to how much flavor. I personally have noticed that if I have a large amount of airflow and not a good vapor producing build, you're going to have a lessening of the flavor. So it's nice to have something that's really easy to adjust, so if you make a build that may not be as strong as the last build, you could just turn that airflow down a little bit, increase the amount of flavor that you're getting. Basically decrease airflow, gives you more juice. Kind of like starting a car. You shut down the airflow to the engine, it gets more gas. So if we shut down the airflow to the mod, you're going to get more fuel. Just basically the way it works. It is a Jenny style tank. So you have the top that pops off. It has a real nice thick O-ring on there. This guy is a massive O-ring. And it has a large center post and these huge Allen head posts. It makes for really easy building. So, you know, I have to say it was easier to build on this than it was the Kraken. And of course, when you do your air holes, like right now, I have dual air holes because I have dual coils. I just line up my air holes with that and pop it on. That guy is pretty solid. As a matter of fact, if you try to move it, you end up moving your airflow because it's so easy to adjust. And with my build, I just tilt it and vape. Now you'll notice I kind of do like that little pre-vape. When I first started on the Jenny tanks, I suffered a lot of dry hits and it was pretty painful. So I kind of do a little, okay, it's good. Even though I have not had a dry hit on this with the current build that I have on it, and a lot of it could be just build style in the past that has failed me, and maybe over time I've gotten better and that has gone away. I still get every once in a while a dry hit on my Kraken. Now I've only used this for a few days now, so does that mean that I'm ready to toss the Kraken to the side? Heavens no. The Kraken is a very good Jenny style tank. It has good flavor. This is very good too, but the cost difference is pretty substantial as far as half the price of the other. I'm not sure that this airflow adjustment equates to another $30. So if you've got a vape budget that you're trying to stay in, and $70 for a Jenny is a little bit out of your range, and you're wanting to stick with the lower price clones, then I would do that. This is a clone. It's made by the Together Best Corporation, or Tobacco. It comes in a box that looks just like this. It will come with a large Allen. It comes with an extra glass, which I thought was kind of nice, that you get this. I don't know if that means something that I should be concerned about. Like, is it going to break really easy when I try to take it apart? It comes with extra post and an extra center post screw, and it does come with some wire and whatnot. It does come with it pre-built. The pre-builds on these guys are they're a joke. So if you're buying one of these and you see that it's already built, unless the technician or shop tech that's there has built it for you, please don't go home and fill it up and think you're going to get a great vape. Half the times the stainless steel mesh is not oxidized properly. The coils are wrapped horribly. They're not going to wick right. You're going to get a dry burn every time, and you're just going to be miserable. Now, I'm comparing this to the Kraken because that's the most recent Jenny that I have reviewed. The Kraken, I did have to go in and find that oil. I'm sure a lot of you recall the post that I put up about where I finally found this oil, because it was driving me nuts. Every time I'd vape on it, I just got this huge blast of machine oil in my mouth that was just horrific. You should never vape anything that tastes like machine oil. If you got that flavor, don't vape through it. Stop, dump it, soak it, whatever you got to do. This guy, all I had to do was wipe it out. I just washed it with some soap and water and a toothbrush, just scrubbed all the parts, put it together, and right out of the bat, it was good. So I do give it a thumbs up. I think this is a good Jenny style tank. I'm not sure if it's worth the money. Once I vape on it a little bit longer, maybe I'll come back and just add a comment underneath the video saying, yeah, it's worth it. Compared to the Kraken, it is easier to build on. It is easier to adjust the airflow. Now there is one complaint I have of this so far, which is the fill hole is rather small. Look, I don't have to do that. Yeah, good camera. The fill hole is rather small, so you do need a syringe on this, whereas the Kraken, I was able to get away with just using tips on juices like, well, heck, like this, just a square yellow tip, nothing fancy. I didn't have to use an actual syringe tip. This one I have to use syringe tip. I think that's about it on it. It's a good Jenny tank. I give it a thumbs up. Concerned about the price on it compared to the Kraken price, and it could just be, the different companies that made these clones. Now the tobacco company, when they first started out, they were kind of rough around the edges kind of guys, and they still have some issues. Like the hammer clone, you still have to do things to it to put it where it should be. And I have a fix on that on my WordPress and Facebook. But this one, I was surprised that it was just so smooth. The screws on it were great. The threading on this top is, you know, honestly guys, the thread on this is, it's just super smooth, and the tip hole fits every tip that I have so far. I've not had any issue with nothing wanting to fit on it. You know, some silly thing got sent to me. That fits in it nice. Heck, I even have a K-Fun tip in here. I haven't tried yet. It has a ridge around the top. There. It fits on it perfectly. I've not had any issues with it at all. Oh yeah, you gotta unlock it, don't you? So, thumbs up guys. Thanks for watching my videos. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe below and like my Facebook page.